channel. I want to say thank you to all of my subscribers. I really appreciate you guys a whole lot for subscribing to my channel, following me on all of my various and social media platforms. So guys, I have a new one. So I just opened my Pinterest account. So guys, I would appreciate if you guys would go on Pinterest and follow official Stylish Naija on Pinterest. So guys, you guys should help me to grow on that platform also. Okay, if you are new to my channel, if you haven't subscribed already, I would appreciate if you will subscribe to Stylish Naija YouTube channel and then hit on the bell on the side to get an update whenever I upload a new video. Okay guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to cut and sew, like I said, an inverted pleats gown with collars. So there's something I'm going to do. So you could see this gown, I actually made it some time ago. So what I'm about to show you how to cut and sew is just something like this. It has a collar like this, and then it has sleeves like this also. But the front, you could see this one is just like an A-line. This one does not have any inverted pleats. So what I'm going to show you how to do today, I'm going to show you how to create the inverted pleats. I'm going to use this fabric on my table now. I'm going to use it to create this front part of this gown, to create out the inverted pleats for you. So, and then I'm still going to drop the link of this video. So once I drop the link, so once you watch it, you know how to, if you want to sew your gown like this, if you want it plain like this, you could sew it with collars, or if you want the one that the front is having the inverted pleats, so you'll be able to do it. So that's just basically what I'm going to show you how to do today. It's really simple and easy. So let's just get started now. Okay guys, so you could see my fabric. So I folded it at an angle, just a slight angle. If you want it fuller, so you could decide to fold it more. And the biggest part of my measurement that I use in folding it is the down part, which I folded at 17. So you see it's folded at 17, so you can determine how you want it folded. And then, because since this is an inverted pleat, which we are going to be the pleat, we are going to be running it from the neckline. So this is from the shoulder, which is the neckline point. You are going to determine where you actually want to run it up to. You can decide to run it up to the waistline, or up to the bust line, or maybe a little under the bust. So you can determine how much you want to, how much length you want the pleat to be. So the first line that I have here is my shoulder line, and then this is my bust line, and then this is my waistline. So from my shoulder to my bust is 10, and then from my bust to my waistline is 17, and then I have the full length of my gown, which is 40 inches. So we're going to start imputing the measurement now. So for this kind of inverted pleat, you are going to determine how wide you want your pleats to be. So that's, you are going to put into consideration. So I'm just going to pull, because I want you to see it properly, I'm going to pull the fabric down, because this is where the emphasis lies. So you are going to determine how much pleat you want. That's the width of your pleats. You are going to determine that, and then you are going to add that to your neckline and point. So for example, now this is my I'm going to, for example, I want to use 6 inches. What I have here now is 3 inches. So when you open up, you know it is 6 inches, which, so that's my pleat will be like a 6 inches point. But if I feel I could decide to use 3.5, I could decide to use 3. Okay, I think 6 inches is okay. It's big enough. So let's do 6 inches. So this is 6 inches, which is 3. So this is 6 inches. So from this 6 inches point now, I'm going to mark out my neckline. So you could decide to do this in 2 ways. You could decide to add, if you are using a neckline of 3 inches, you could decide to this is your normal regular 3 inches for your neckline, and then since you are doing a pleat of 3 inches, you can decide to add another 3 inches. That's one way. Or you can just decide to mark 3 inches from this point to add to it. So this will not be our neckline point. So this is 3 inches that we're going to use for the inverted pleats, and then this is another 3 inches, which is our regular neckline point. So from this point now, in order not to confuse you, from this point now, you are just going to mark the width of the neckline. Because it is a collar, I'm going to use about 2 inches or 1.5 inches. So from this point, I'm just going to curve it. I'm just going to create a curve like this. create out my neckline. So I've created out the neckline. So you see the neckline is included with the pleat, and this is my pleat, and then this is my regular neckline of 3 inches. And then from this point I'm going to add my one, I'm going to mark out my shoulder measurement. You know my shoulder, so this 3 inches for the pleat, you are not going to include it. This is 7 inches for my shoulder. My shoulder measurement is 14. When you divide into 4, when you divide into 2, you have 7. So I just want you to understand how this measurement is. So this and this first 3 inches is for the pleats, and then from this point you measure 3 inches, which is your regular neckline, and then from your regular neckline you measure out your shoulder measurement. So you see, so this part, so let me just rule it. So this part basically, I'll rule it to my to the bust line point. So we are starting all of our measurements from this point. So from this point now you measure your 3 inches, which is for your neckline, and then your 7 inches, which is for your shoulder, which is for your shoulder measurement, and then you add your 1 inch allowance for your stitching allowance. So from this point now I'm going to come to this point. I'll measure 8 inches, which is for my armhole, and then I'm going to connect it like this. So I've marked out my armhole and points from here. So from this point I'm going to include all of my measurement, and so I'm going to include my bust line measurement. My bust line measurement, I'm using 40 inches. When you divide 40 into 10, this 40 inches is plus all of the allowance, because my regular bust is 36. So I've increased it because it is a free dress. So I'm using 10 inches, and then I'm just going to add the stitching allowance on this point. And then my waistline also, I'm going to maintain on the same 40 inches mark, and then I'm going to add my allowance also. And then from this point I'm going to mark my hip line point, which I'm making use of 25, but this is not really unnecessary because it is a free dress. So I'm just going to insert my hip measurement with enough of the allowance. So I'm going to connect my lines now, and then the down part, for the down I'm going to make use of 16 inches, and then I'll add the allowance. So I'm going to connect all of them to. So for the down I used 16 inches for the down, and then added the allowance to it. So I'm going to join all of the lines together now. So from this point, so I hope you understand what we did. So I'm going to cut it out now, but this part I'm going to put a notch here for our pleat part. I'm going to notch it like this. So when we're done, I'm going to fold it in. So I'm just going to cut it out first before I'll fold it in. So I'm going to include my shoulder slope. So I'll slope it to this point, which is the neckline point. So I'm going to slope it. So another way for you to do this is from the beginning you can decide to just measure your 3 inches, and then you hide it inside like this, and then you iron it down, and then you measure all of your measurements, so you could see what I mean. So if you are going to hide it inside from the beginning, if I had done it that way, I could measure out the 3 inches that I want to use for my pleat. I'm just going to put it inside, and then I'll measure out my neckline, and then measure out my shoulder line. So it's still going to, I'm just trying to make it easy for you to understand. So that's that. So now I'm going to open it up now. So you're going to determine where you want your pleat, where you want to stitch it up to. So mine, I think I'm going to stitch it up to almost my waistline part. So from this point I'm just going to come up a little bit. So I'm going to come from my waistline, I'm going to come up by 2 inches. So this is 2 inches from this point. So I'm going to rule this line up to this point like this. So here's where I'm going to stitch it up to. So for the neckline point now, we're going to cut out our neckline. So you're just going to cut it like this. So you cut out the neckline and then still remember to put your notch. So we'll move over to the machine and let me show you how to stitch it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to run a stitch from this line to the neckline point now. So you are going to just top stitch it so as to secure it. So you see what I have now. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take it like this now. I'm going to take it to my ironing table and I'm going to iron it open like this. So I'm going to open it like this. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to open it like this and then I'll give it a good press like this. I'm going to press it down like this now to the down part. So I'll do that and then come and show you how it is looking. Okay guys, so you could see the outcome of our inverted pleat. So you see what I have here. So if you want your pleat, if you want it to be bigger, you can decide to use 5 inches. You know, I actually used 3 inches for this one. So this is how the back will look like. So you see the way I just opened it up, just like I showed you, opened it up, and then you are going to iron it up from the top to the down part. So you see what I have. So at the end of the day, so you see this is how it's going to look like. It's really looking good and it came out and beautifully well. So with this kind of inverted pleat, you can use it for any project. So if you are going to use it for the gown, like I showed you, the collar gown, just like what you have on the picture, all you have to do is just cut the front like this and then you cut the back like just normal without adding any extra to the neckline part. So guys, I hope this video was helpful. I hope it was helpful. So if you find this video helpful, okay guys, so I've now come to the end of this tutorial. I actually don't know what to say. I've actually come to the end of this tutorial. So if you find it helpful, yeah, better. So please, I will appreciate if you will hit on the like button and subscribe if you have not subscribed. So thank you so much. And you can also use this for a maternity blouse. So for those of you that are pregnant or you want to make for your clients, you can use it for a maternity. Yeah, maternity is good. So thank you so much. Bye. I'll see you in my next video.